Hi there, everybody. My name is Kate, and welcome to my channel, Trinergy Awakens Naturally. I had something just really cool come in, a nice download, a beautiful experience that I wanted to share with my friends. So that's you if you're listening. Please take this with all the blessings that I feel. So I'm in Colorado. I'm in Canyon City, Colorado, at the oil well flats. I hike a lot and, get a lot of spiritual work done when I'm here, and I'm with the sun, who has been eclipsing and had some really great just personal experiences and insights from my own personal journey back, when it was at its maximum. But I also got a phone call at the same time, and I have my phone's on Do Not Disturb, just all the time. So I just don't want to be disturbed most of the time. But I felt the urge to check my phone, and I was listening to tribal shamanic music, drumming, didgeridoo and throat singing and all kinds of stuff, just having this great experience, right? And fumbling with those glasses. Those are awkward. But anyway, we got it done. That I got a phone call and a message from someone that she's kind of a friend. She's an acquaintance. I don't really know her very well, but she called because she's on her spiritual journey as well. And so we don't really know each other out here in 3D very well, but I connected with her immediately when I met her. And I just like her. She's on a very different journey, but she understands spirituality, she understands energy, and she's a healer in the many ways that she does it. She does a great job. And so I've only spoken to her a handful of times, but she talked to me about ayahuasca and some experiences that she had doing that, and also with mushrooms. And so I was very intrigued. I'm always curious how that goes for other people, because I know I've never taken ayahuasca myself, but I've been on mushrooms, and a few times, and a couple of times it was quite unpleasant, and the others, when I had better information and better product, it went much better. So I'm always interested, how is that for you? Because that can be mind-bending, mind-breaking, and mind exploding and mind-blowing in some really unfriendly ways, unkind ways, and scary as what ways. Or it can be really, really, really amazing. It can go a lot of different ways. So I was talking to her about it, and she said it had been, these amazing experiences for her. And like I said, I don't know her very well. 222, thank you. I don't know her very well. We've just chatted out, in our neighborhood a few times, and we've gone on a hike a couple of times, and just chatted a little bit, but we didn't really get into that aspect of it. And I said, well, if you ever need anything, let me give me a call, whatever. And today is the solar eclipse, which is a major spiritual alignment, energetic alignment, and people that are on that assignment, dude, we're feeling it, in the many ways that we are, and clearing a lot of dense energy, clearing a lot of space for the new body and the new light energy and the new light body energy to come in. We're making space for it. Excuse me, my doggy wants to be chewing on stuff that's still living. That's not legal. Stop that. So anyway, I'm hiking along, and I think to look to my phone. I think, that's weird. Okay. And she's left me a message, this woman, very nice woman, right? And I'm just reading the text message, or the voicemail that's been converted, so I'm not messing up my music, right? And as I'm listening to this drumming and hearing these beautiful sounds, throat singing, and all kinds of instruments, just really sing to my soul, right to it, hits really great. I'm reading her thing, and it says, I've taken mushrooms today, and I'm just feeling really weird. And, so it's in direct contrast that I'm up here feeling, really awesome. And yet this woman that I don't know her, really well, I don't know her at all. If you think about it in 3D, we don't really know much about one another. However, she's really panicking, and I remember back to the very first time I ever tried mushrooms. I was by myself and hadn't been given very good instructions or product. So it was not pleasant. Those first few, hours were quite unpleasant and got grisly and ugly. I mean, like, scary stuff. Like every worst monster I could ever imagine was visiting in my head and in my room and everywhere else. There was no place to escape. And I had no one I could call except for, what was in here. And I was having a hard time connecting. That was at the beginning of my spiritual awakening process, the initial beginnings of it, and I didn't know what to call, who to call, how to call, or anything except just kind of sit there in that terror of it all. And so I thought, don't be a jerk. You're here for the solar eclipse, and you're having this beautiful experience. Why would you deny this woman? You've been through this. That's the compassion of, oh my God, let me see what I can do to possibly offer some, comfort, because why would she call me? She's got a lot of friends, I'm understanding, and so she's called me, then if someone one hasn't answered her yet if she's tried somebody else, and why would I want to withhold that from her just because I'm out here thinking my spiritual experience is looking like this, and it does. So help your friend, because that's just a kind thing to do, and you know what it's like to be on the receiving end, 505, of, this is really creepy, I don't know what to do. And so I give her a call, and I said, how are you doing? And we're at max coverage here in Colorado Springs was at a designated time, whatever it was, and we were like 3 minutes away from it when I called her. When I got the message, it was already about 10 minutes old, but it was about 3 minutes from that, and she said, I just feel so jittery. I feel so, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. I mean, she was going down a road of, I shouldn't have done this, and I'm feeling like, it sounded a whole lot like shame and blame and a whole bunch of stuff, which when we are already in that terrified space, the last thing we need to do is talk to ourselves or hear those dirty messages about how, we made it worse for ourselves, and if we'd only, and all those things don't make that trip any better, whether we're on psychedelics or not. 555, thank you. Change it right on the spot. So I let her, speak and do her thing and tell me what was going on, and, didn't want to interrupt her, but I said, well, if it helps ease up, the burden that you might be feeling, I said, we're at max, right now, we're about 3 minutes away from it being at the, total point of totality, and I said, where are you? And she said, I'm inside, I'm on my couch, and I couldn't deal with that, but I'm looking at Pikes Peak, and man, there's just a lot of stuff, and yet I'm terrified. My body is just shaking, and it just feels like I can't sit still, and and I said, well, if that helps you to understand, that might be why it's happening. Could be very tied into the fact that this is at totality almost, and that's probably, congratulations, you're likely experiencing the weird effects of a shift. Your energy is definitely doing something, otherwise you wouldn't feel all those neurological effects, right? So get a little logical, but allow her to be human, and bring a little bit of logic into it without saying, well, that's ridiculous, that's stupid, nothing like that. Basically, let me talk to this woman the way that I would want somebody to talk to me. Please, guide me, help me, teachers and mentors, please show me how I can offer something to this woman that doesn't sound like I'm, just blowing her off or giving her some technical reason when she's in the middle of what feels like, possibly could turn into a bad trip or last longer in the bad trip, department where she's already standing. Let's not go deep into that closet, if we don't have to. So we talked for a minute, and I said, well, what can I do? And she said, just talk positively to me. Just say something about God, and Jesus. And what was so fascinating and beautiful about it is that the more I stayed quiet and just let her, she said, like this, that, and the other. And she started helping herself and teaching herself what she needed. She said, I think I'm going to watch Touched by an Angel. And, we started talking about that. And I said, oh my goodness, I haven't seen that show in so many years. I'd forgotten about that. And then she opened up a whole dialogue about why she was inspired to watch it and what that show meant to her and all of this. And the less that I said, the more she was calming down. And it's not that I did something, miraculous to heal her, except allow her the space to be herself without having the shame or or the, honestly, that snotty 818 that I was thinking, well, I don't want anybody interrupting my spiritual experience. Like, what are you doing? You're already having it. How less spiritual is it to reach out to someone who's reached out to you and say, let's connect as human beings because we're already spiritually connected. Of course, we all are. However, we're having a 3D experience here, and I'm feeling pretty far from any connection to anything that I think is comfortable or safe or good for me. I'm terrified. Then why would you leave this woman hanging? And it's not codependency. I'm not talking about saving people that they're not really asking for what I'm offering. She was asking for what I could offer, which was just the opportunity to, can you just talk to me and talk to me about God for a few minutes, or talk to me about something, positive. And really, it sounded more like what she needed was just another human contact, that you're not losing your mind. There is a reason that it's happening. A couple of things here, and you're allowed to be all kinds of human. Go. You have the mic. Step up and say whatever's on your mind, baby, because it's a safe place to do that. I'm pretty sure if she doesn't didn't know, she probably knows now because I said it, that, she said, I'm so sorry. I said, no, 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 no. That's not how this rolls. That you're human, you're allowed to be vulnerable, you're allowed to be afraid, and you're allowed to, we don't ever have to talk about it again, because it's a need at that moment. And why would I, have anything except support for you? How could I call you my friend, or you call me your friend, if I'm not going to offer you support that, later I'm going to use it against you or something? What kind of weirdness is that? And it occurred to me as I got off the phone with her, and I called her an hour later, and I just got done with that phone call, and she said, "Thank you. I feel so much better. Thank you. I'm past the worst part of it. I'm experiencing all these great colors." I'm like, "Cool. Well, let me leave you alone to go to that mystery school, because it sounds like you're right where you'd like to be. I don't want to interrupt 10 any of that. So let you go." But when I got off the phone, it occurred to me as I was looking out over these beautiful mountains, that this is home to me. This is where I feel the most comfortable that I ever have, in my skin, to be standing in these mountains and looking and seeing, things that, most people probably would be happy to say, yeah, that's not what's there. Like, okay, well, whatever. It's what brings me back to that connection. And I realized, on one more level, that we are human beings, and it's fine that we can look to divine. It's absolutely possible and necessary that we find our divine, and that we look to that divine to get us out of those crunch moments and those crisis moments. We have to be able to look to our own source of energy and what we believe in to help us when we're in those terrorized spots. However, the new age of Aquarius and the new way that we're moving forward, and the new earth and new frequencies, means that we're learning how to get rid of all that, competitiveness, and the, 11, you're a dum dum, I can't believe you did that. That we look to one another and say, can I connect with you safely and get my needs met? And it's a clean deal when I leave this exchange, when I leave this arrangement, for the 10 minutes, the 2 minutes, the 10 years, whatever it is. That's the new age, and that's the new age of Aquarius that we're stepping into, that we are launching into in higher and higher vibrations as we do it. That it calls us to let go of our ego and let go of the, whatever it was that was just feeling like a snotty little kid, that I don't want to, 11:44, I don't want to stop what I'm doing and deal with somebody who's having a problem. I mean, it went through a minute, not very long, but, still before something, my mind, my guides, somebody stepped in and said, excuse you, no, that's not okay. And the beauty of it is that when we can connect with other people and softly and gently help them through their terrorized moments, she didn't need really anything from me except a moment to know that you're a human being who's safe with at least one other human being, 1212, that we're connecting, and I'm hearing you in your vulnerability, and I'm not going to stab you now or in the future. So go, tell me, you have the mic, what's up with you? And she was able to get to her own spot of safety by talking herself through that, by just having that window, that opportunity opened up of, hey, am I safe to be naked, raw, and vulnerable? Yeah, you sure are, and I'm not going to find any of this funny, annoying, or anything like that. And that's not something that we can always offer to everyone, because they're not really showing up, in their full vulnerability. But when they do, I was so glad that I got that lesson, that you've been through this. Have more compassion, and, don't be a ding-dong about this, that the woman wouldn't call you. You don't know her well enough. I mean, once I worked through, my little temper tantrum about how I'm bonding with my family out here in the mountains, and it's her problem. I mean, I went there for just a little bit. Yeah. Wish I could say that I hadn't, but I did. I did. My mind went right there with, all the reasons why. 1313, thank you. That it doesn't matter. The quicker thing is get to the point of, hey, we were able to move through that and understand that no one wants to be frightened. No one wants to feel like they've got nowhere to go, especially when they can't hang on to their Jesus moment, their God moment, their Mother Mary moment, their Brahma moment, their whatever they subscribe to, their ocean, whatever they're praying to or connecting to, their mountains, their ancestors, their guides, their spirit guides, their angels, whatever way it shows up to them. No one wants to feel like they're completely hung out to dry. If we can't rely on our ancestors, which we can, or that, we may need a minute with a human being that can help us connect back to just getting out of that panic and out of the, oh my God, I can't do this, which is where she was. Very hard to connect with our most spiritual, serene place and, reach out to our angels, our guides, and that team if we're having the real full-blown human experience, the heart rate's going up and the mind, action and mind, brain function is going down. As it is, it's a very hard way to get through Clown Town and expect that we're going to connect, you know, in a very spiritual way. And so that was what I was left with, and I hope that's helpful to you in some way whatsoever. And my dog is busy trying he's getting bored now. He's like, wrap it up, we need to move along now. So anyway, I hope you enjoy your day, and I hope you get within your skin and enjoy your divine, because your divine is absolutely fine, and it's okay that you're vulnerable. It really is. Meet your divine. It can help you with those vulnerable moments to know who's safe to call, who's safe to reach out to in 3D. You know, it's a connection and a balance between reaching out to our 5D and above, or our spirituality, our divinity, and our 3D, and integrating that understanding as we're moving all of it out of 3D. So take care of yourselves, as I said, and get within your skin, because you're divine, lovely, 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 and absolutely fine. Take care, and I'll see you guys again next time. Goodbye, my beautiful friends.